You can't discuss anything about anything? When was that rule passed?
Sir,
Can I tell you something? I don't play games.
neither do I.
You're
Need to call the
violating.
police?
Yeah, go ahead, call the police. Meet my new buddy. He's the PR guy for the city of San Benito, Texas. It's a little town southeast of Harlingen, just 20 miles north of the Rio Grande. And the welcome mat is clearly not out. Smart ass.
Yeah, I'm the smartest.
You are, buddy.
You're coming into my place of business.
Oh no, he's gonna call the cops on me. That's never happened before. Yeah, go ahead, call the police. While we wait for the local law to show up to this City Hall showdown, let me tell you about the crime I'm supposedly committing. We had come to see City Secretary Ruth McGinnis. For weeks, she was too busy, to return any of our calls, so they trotted out this former local sports reporter to deal with us.
Well, she's not available right now.
Okay, well, I'll wait.
Well, you're going to be waiting for a while.
We simply wanted to look at campaign finance records of elected officials, and San Benito was illegally hiding them. The law says that any citizen can come into this city office during any regular business day and look at election-related records. That's the law. The law doesn't require you to put the request in writing, and new Texas law says it should be online to make it even easier for everyone to see. We had played nice with these folks for weeks, but it hadn't worked.
But my suggestion for you is to make the request.
We did.
I do not believe you did that, because she would have honored it.
You called me a liar?
I'm not calling her.
Don't want facts to ruin a good government comedy show, but here is that request. Why are you calling the police? Really? You trying to hide stuff from the public? And when the cops did come, they were cool. And they knew I was right.
Even if I would try to force them, I can't force them.
I didn't call you.
Yeah.
They did. But it wouldn't be the last time that day that a San Benito public servant would try and sick the law on me.
Chief.
We tried to talk to City Commissioner Deborah Morales before the City Council meeting had started. Is there a law against talking to her?
Yeah, we'll wait until after the meeting. But if she doesn't want to speak to you, sir.
That doesn't mean I have to stop asking her questions, Chief. No offense. I was about to give the San Benito City Council an earful over this illegal withholding of public records. I have been in the journalism investigative business for 50 years. Even in the most corrupt towns, they know that campaign finance records are public records. I've authorized our attorneys and our staff to file a criminal complaint with the Cameron County District Attorney's Office. This is Wendell Trevino.
I'm not taking any questions right now.
Yeah, but you denied us the right to see campaign records. That's illegal.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
And he's not the city's lawyer. He's the lawyer for the San Benito Economic Development Corporation, who asked the Texas Attorney General to help them hide not only the campaign records, but the EDC's financial records too. Doesn't the public have a right to see these records? What are you hiding? What's up with these folks? They call San Benito the Raka City, a term used to describe the tributaries that hang off the Rio Grande for irrigation. But that word has another meaning across the Hispanic world.
In some Spanish-speaking countries, resaca means hangover.
Maybe that explains what's going on here. Some of these folks are drunk with power. It really sounded like a government shakedown.
And that's how we felt, and that's still how we feel.
Paul Serafi works for Varco, a big valley real estate developer that's already invested about $8 million into what will be eventually the city's nicest shopping center. Raka Village on Highway 77. It's still under construction, but a lot of tenants have already moved into the first buildings completed. Yet the EDC has decided they want to take control of the buildings being developed on this government property and all the rents that are coming in. But why? This place was originally bought with a government grant 11 years ago. San Benito's EDC was going to build a new museum here.
Music icon and birthday boy Freddie Fender returned to the valley for a special dedication,
including a new Freddie Fender museum. Yep, San Benito is his hometown. But it never happened.
They approached us with this project. We weren't seeking out an opportunity to develop in San Benito.
The project is behind schedule, COVID and supply chain issues mostly, and it hasn't been easy to find tenants for a shopping center in a town that's starving for economic development. But last August, Varco says it was approached by this guy, Jose Morales, a new member of the EDC, with a threat. Suddenly pay the city an exorbitant lump sum payment to keep the buildings and all the rents coming in, or get thrown out. The huge investment would be lost. Morales had been appointed to the EDC with the help of his wife, Deborah Morales,
Chief,
who is now a member of the City Commission. Deborah Morales had been trying to kill the original deal made with Varco for a few years now.
So there is a personal agenda that Deborah and Jose Morales have against Varco and against this project.
Maybe they were just trying to squeeze some more money for the town's coffers, but Varco, they were plenty suspicious in a part of the state where public corruption is, well, not so hard to find.
They either want to kick us out, give it over to somebody that they know who they want to operate it, a family member, it could be a friend.
There is a pattern of conduct in San Benito that taxpayers there should be demanding answers about. Next year was supposed to be the opening of the first phase of another project called the Epicenter, a $750 million entertainment mecca for San Benito. But the developers blame the Morales family for removing their required incentives to make the deal happen. The sign for Epicenter is now gone. Now what might have been a hotel and convention center is just an empty field. So why are Deborah Morales and her husband trying to chase away folks willing to invest in this town? Isn't that the exact opposite of what an EDC should do? Yeah, I got a question for you. We've talked to a couple of developers.
We cannot discuss anything, sir.
You can't discuss anything? About anything? When was that rule passed? We've had two developers now say that you are responsible for killing these deals, including the Raka Village shopping center that is barreling towards completion.
The two developers that have been interested have been treated terribly by the City Commission and by the EDC, whose mission it is to bring jobs and bring development to the city.
In November, the EDC did another extension to their contract. Varco agreed to pay $500 a day in damages for any additional delays. They've been paying the money, but the EDC hasn't cashed the checks.
They haven't really acted sensibly. They haven't acted reasonably towards somebody who's investing $10 million in their community.
Seeing the writing on the wall, the developers have filed a lawsuit in recent weeks because they have so many millions invested here. The EDC moved forward with plans to evict Varco. In stark contrast to our welcome at San Benito City Hall, Justice of the Peace Judge Jesus Chuy Garcia let us bring our camera in to record the eviction proceedings. Good for him.
We're asking the court to order the defendant surrender possession of the real property and the premises.
The EDC argued that even though they had agreed to the latest extension of the contract, City Council had never voted. So the EDC was basically going back on its own written word.
They pulled the rug out from under us in trying to complete this.
They wanted the judge to simply ignore that signed agreement.
The court's seen what their claim is.
I still don't think.
He didn't buy it, denied the eviction.
We think the judge did the right thing. Plain and simple, did the right thing.
Back at City Hall, I was laying down the law about the public records being kept from us. If I don't get them tomorrow morning, I guess we're going to go to war. Just letting you know. Guess my promise worked, because the very next morning, the records started trickling in. And we finally got to see campaign records for Mrs. Morales, who was first elected to office 4 years ago. We note that one of her biggest campaign contributors is a guy named Cesar Ornelas. He's a personal injury attorney in San Antonio. We found this article from 2019 from the Albuquerque Journal detailing an alleged barratry scheme. Another law firm claiming it involves secret kickbacks by the Ornelas law firm to funeral home directors. No one was ever charged. But Mrs. Morales and her husband Jose, they're in the funeral business.
Allow our family to serve your family.
Claiming to service 97% of the funeral homes in the entire Rio Grande Valley. A great way for lawyers to learn about dead folks. And when we brought up her husband, that's when Deborah Morales tried to get the police chief to stop us.
Sir, I cannot answer any questions. We're under litigation, so.
You got your husband on the EDC? You think that's the right thing to do? That's got nothing to do with litigation.
Chief.
There's something else to share as we widen our investigation of public officials in San Benito. We came across a public record on one of the newer board members, John Flores. He was appointed in 2023. And here's another photo we found of a John Flores that looked exactly like him. But this one was a mugshot from a Texas sex offender database. John Flores had been convicted of sexually abusing his 13-year-old niece. He asked to register for life, but failed to report that he had moved from Houston to San Benito. That's a crime. And San Benito police acted on our tip, arrested Flores last weekend. Kudos to them.
He was seen by the judge Saturday morning. He made bond and then probably on his way back to Houston to tell whatever sad story he wants to tell Houston PD.
What's the comment from San Benito City Hall? Good question, because our buddy is back.
I can discuss it with the city manager. I wouldn't have one to give you.
I'm looking for a reaction. Does anybody care there?
We're watching the city's next moves in the case of the Raka Village. Will San Benito taxpayers now have to pay the unnecessary costs of another big legal fight? Or will it do what EDCs are supposed to be doing? Help private developers bring jobs and money to a town that clearly needs it.
We hope that the EDC will work with us on things like ribbon cuttings and promoting the property.